Running more than a couple of wallets across more than a couple of protocols turns into a memory problem fast. What did this wallet do? Is it eligible for anything? When does that season end? Did I already claim on the other one? Trackers exist to hold that in one place so your head does not have to. The honest reality is that some of them genuinely save hours and some are just a dashboard wrapped around noise. This is a tested category by category look at the tools people actually use, what each type is good for, where it falls short, and how to avoid the dangerous ones. No tool here is being called a way to make money. Men come, men come. Strip away the branding and a tracker does one of a few jobs. It watches your wallets and shows what they hold and have done. It checks whether an address is eligible for a known distribution. It aggregates upcoming and rumored opportunities into a list, or it tracks your progress through points and quests. No tool does all of these equally well, so the first honest step is knowing which job you actually need done. Why in the wrong category is why people end up with 5 dashboards and still miss the thing they cared about. Ditotenard. The workhorses are the portfolio trackers, the tools that connect to your wallets and show holdings, positions, and history across many chains in one view. The Bank, Zapper, and Zerion are the well-known ones, and they are genuinely useful for simply seeing what each wallet is doing without opening 10 explorers. Tested honestly, they are strong at the overview and weaker as dedicated airdrop tools, since surfacing eligibility is a side feature rather than the point, as a daily map of your actual on-chain life across wallets. Though this category earns its place more than any other. The privacy cost of connecting, there is an honest catch with portfolio trackers worth stating plainly. To show your holdings, they need your addresses, and connecting all your wallets to one account hands that service a complete map of the very thing earlier videos were about keeping separate. That is a real trade-off. Some people use these read-only and accept the visibility for the convenience. Others deliberately keep sensitive context out of any aggregator. Neither is wrong, but it should be a conscious choice because the tool that saves you time also quietly assembles the linkage you may have worked to avoid. But is eligibility checkers. A second category checks whether an address can claim a specific known distribution. Earn a fee, sometimes known through the Bankless ecosystem, is a common example, and various official project claim pages do the same for their own tokens. These are handy right after a distribution is announced to see if a wallet qualifies without hunting. The sharp warning here is that this exact category is the most impersonated by scammers. Fake eligibility checkers and claim pages are a primary phishing vector, so this convenience comes with the highest need to verify you are on a genuine site before connecting anything. The aggregator lists. Third are the discovery aggregators, sites that list active, upcoming, and rumored opportunities. Airdrops.io and the airdrop sections of large data sites like Defilama and major market trackers fall here. Tested honestly, they are useful as a starting map of what exists, and unreliable as gospel, because rumor and speculation mix freely with real information. Treat them as a lead list to research, never as a to-do list to execute blindly. The signal to noise varies a lot, and the better sites are the ones that clearly separate confirmed distributions from wishful speculations. The Quest and Points platforms. Fourth, the Quest platforms like Galaxy and Layer 3 double as trackers of your own progress through tasks and points. They show what you have completed and what the campaign still wants. As covered before, these are fine as a map of a project's stated tasks, and they carry the off-chain identity considerations from the linking video, since they tie an address to an email or social login. As trackers, they do a narrow job well, showing your standing in a specific campaign, and they are not a general overview of your wallets or eligibility elsewhere. Points dashboards. Closely related are the points dashboards many protocols now run themselves, showing your accumulated points within their own system across a season. These are the most authoritative source for that one protocol, because the team runs them and useless for anything outside it. The honest caution is not to let a rising points number feel like money. Since points are a scoring mechanic, a project may or may not ever tie to a token on terms it sets later. As a tracker of your standing in one program though, the official dashboard beats any third-party guess. What actually saves time? Tested across all of these, the biggest real-time saver for most people is a good portfolio tracker used read-only for the overview, plus each relevant project's own official dashboard for points, plus a healthy habit of ignoring most of the rumor aggregators. That combination answers the questions that actually matter. What are my wallets doing? And where do I genuinely stand? Without drowning you in speculative lists. The tools that save time are the ones tied to real data. The ones that waste it are the ones tied to hype and predictions. What wastes time? The time sinks are predictable. Aggregators heavy on rumor that turn into a daily anxiety feed. Trackers promising to find you secret opportunities, which mostly recycle the same public lists. Anything that leads with potential earnings rather than data. And the sprawl of signing up for a dozen overlapping dashboards until maintaining the trackers becomes its own chore, competing with the actual activity. More tools is not more edge. Usually it is more noise, more surface area for mistakes, and more accounts tying your context together for no real benefit. 文明講成三等. Prefer tools that work read-only from a public address over ones demanding a signature or connection. Never connect a wallet holding real value to an eligibility checker you have not verified. Use bookmarks for official sites rather than search results or links from social media, since impersonators buy ads and rank for exactly these queries. A tracker is supposed to reduce risk by organizing your view, not add risk by becoming the thing that drains a wallet. Read only beats connected when the nens, a principle worth making explicit. Most tracking genuinely does not require connecting a wallet at all. A public address is public, so a tracker can show its holdings and history from the address alone. Read only with no signature and no permission granted. Favor that mode wherever it exists. A signature request to merely view information should make you pause and ask why. The tools that insist on a connection for something a public address could answer are either lazily built or worth being suspicious of, and the read-only path is almost always the safer default. The spreadsheet nobody mentions. After testing the fancy options, the honest truth is that a plain spreadsheet still beats most of them for the part that matters. Your own record of which wallet did what and why. No tool knows your intent or your context the way a two-column note you keep yourself does. The dashboards are great for live data they can read off-chain and terrible at the reasoning only you have. The operators who stay organized over a long run almost all keep some simple private record, and it is usually the single most useful tracker they own. Matching the tool to the scale. The right stack depends entirely on your scale. A few wallets and a couple of protocols barely need tooling at all. An explorer and a node will do. Many wallets across many protocols is where a portfolio overview and official points dashboards start genuinely paying off. There is no universal best tracker, only the right fit for how much you actually run, which is exactly why list ranking them out of context are not very useful. Figure out your scale first, then pick the smallest set of tools that answers your real questions. Notifications and alerts. One genuinely useful tracker feature worth calling out is alerting, the ability to be told when something actually happens, rather than checking constantly. A good alert setup. A notification when a distribution is announced for an address you hold, or when a season is closing, saves the anxious habit of refreshing dashboards all day. Tested honestly, this is where trackers earn their keep, by letting you stop watching and get on with life until there is a real reason to look. The caution is the same as everywhere. Set alerts through official or reputable tools, not through random services that want deep access in exchange for telling you what a public address could already show you for free. Browser extensions and inline tools. A category that lives right in your browser deserves a mention. The inline tools and extensions that annotate what you are looking at, flagging a suspicious contract, showing an address's reputation, or surfacing eligibility as you browse. Some are genuinely helpful, adding context exactly where you need it. The security caveat is sharper here than anywhere because a browser extension sees a great deal and the malicious one can tamper with what you sign. Install only well-known, well-reviewed extensions, keep them few, and treat anything that wants broad permissions with real suspicion. A helpful inline tool is nice, and it is not worth handing an unknown extension the keys to everything you do in a browser. The honest verdict. So the tested verdict is simple. Portfolio trackers, used read-only, are the most broadly useful category and the one real overview worth having. Official project dashboards are the truth for points and eligibility within their own systems. Eligibility checkers are handy but the most dangerous to trust blindly, so verify hard. Rumor aggregators are a lead list at best, and a private record you keep yourself quietly outperforms all of them for intent. None of these is a way to make money. They are ways to spend less time confused, which is all a tracker should promise. My actual stack, for what it is worth. My own setup is deliberately small. One portfolio tracker read only for the overview across contexts, the official dashboard of each protocol I actually use for its points, a private note for intent and reasons, and the firm habit of ignoring the rumor feeds. That is it. The discipline is in keeping the stack small enough to maintain and honest enough to trust, rather than collecting dashboards. The goal is less time lost to confusion and less risk from unverified connections, not the feeling of having every tool that exists. The current tools I actually run, the read-only setups I trust, and the fuller write-up of how to keep a tracking stack small, safe, and genuinely useful are at airdropfarming.org, with no hype and no earnings promises of any kind. Subscribe if you want tools tested honestly, the security caveats included, and none of the guaranteed riches nonsense. Next time we get into points and seasons themselves, how these modern scoring systems actually work under the hood, and how to keep up with them methodically without letting a points number trick you into thinking it is money.